All right, so let me just go ahead and jump in and let me show you the balance statement. But I'm going to be giving you guys balance statements every month going forward, and we're also going to be getting back into putting money into our
I
accounts.
agree. What I'll start it this week, so I'm going to start giving you like.
Actually, I would rather we started on the 15th of November because I have some shit that I have going on this month, and I really can't afford putting it over.
Well, I was
Okay.
gonna say Christmas is coming up too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, let's start after. Let's start on the first. The 15th of January. Considering that we have a couple of holidays this in the next couple of months.
That's fair. So, are we just stating this? Are we going to deposit directly into the account, or are we
No, you're guys.
depositing like you said before? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing before. That way, we can track, who sent what and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm also gonna be going over a strategy for how we'll be investing going forward as well.
Okay.
So I said, let me just go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna share a tab, and this is just our balance statement. All right, so right now we have total assets of $859.28 as of September 30th, of which
That's our balance.
$70.39.
That's our how much money we have.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
Okay. Currently, in our actual checking account, which we're currently earning 1% on, which was 3 cents this past month, is a total of $70.39. Now, currently in our other investments, non-cash investments, including our crypto, we have a total of $628.94. And here are the coins that we are currently invested in.
We seriously have YOLO, really?
That's our weed stock. That is our weed stock. We have gone over that. But yeah, these are and I think this is the one you were talking about, Allegrand.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, I ended up moving our funds out of Allegrand so that we could start earning greater rewards through liquidity mining, which I'll be going over in a minute. But I said our stocks JP Morgan $74.23, and a total stocks of $159.95.
Very good.
Yeah. So this is Coinbase stock, Weed stocks, and JP Morgan. And I said the rest of these are cryptos that you guys can feel free to look up on your own. Some of these may look familiar to you, but
if you don't mind, I apologize. Last time you said you'd send us the link. We never got the link. So if you could for this.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I put all of it on the server.
Did you?
Yeah, like anytime I do like one of these with you guys, I put all of that on the server.
So I didn't know that. Okay. So is it actually? Or do you have it shared in the server?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to double check. Go ahead and keep going. I'm going to just make sure.
Yeah, the last time we did one of these was back in April, so it's been a minute, guys.
No, that's fine. I just want to see if that I'm seeing your folder.
Sure. Actually, I think I can tell you exactly. Actually, I just closed out of that window. Damn it. Okay, so as I said, what the majority of our income comes from liquidity mining. It's kind of an involved service. Basically, what you do is that you take two tokens, and the tokens that we are doing are. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, you basically take two tokens and you put them into a liquidity pool. That liquidity pool then earns rewards based on transaction fees on through a blockchain. And as I'm sure some of you are aware, blockchains slowly lose funds the reward payout are reduced as you go through. So one sec. I'm actually going to go ahead and share some links with you guys. Basically, details on what liquidity mining is, liquidity mining how to get started, and liquidity mining facts, basically where the rewards are coming from. Liquidity mining is actually still pretty new. It's something that's only been around since 2017. Unfortunately, there is not a lot of information out about it, so I wanted to give you guys as much as possible.
Okay.
As I said, right now, through liquidity mining alone, we are earning. Last month we earned 9.
You're breaking up a little bit, Darnell.
That's a weird frame for him to get stuck on there. I think you're frozen.
I think he started getting that money out from YOLO and.
Hello?
There you are.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it said I completely lost connection, and then suddenly connection came back in.
That was weird.
So, what point did I? So let me try this again.
You started to say YOLO.
So, I said the majority of our income from last month came from liquidity mining, and basically with liquidity mining, you take DeFi chain, which we currently have $292.41. You pair it with another crypto. So you see the ones that are showing as shaded on the screen?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that we are currently paired for liquidity mining. We basically earn more of those coins as well as DeFi chain.
Okay.
And I said last month we earned approximately 90 cents every single day. And basically every Friday I do a snapshot of where we are. And then I go ahead and I simply reinvest. But the way that liquidity mining works is that you and other liquidity miners pool their funds together. They take an equal amount of DeFi and an equal amount of another cryptocurrency, put them into a pool, and you are paid back in transaction fees.
Right.
And also a percentage back on basically whatever is done through that blockchain.
Yeah, you kind of went over it a little bit the last time we got together. So
yeah, it's super involved and incredibly hard to explain, which is why I put those links up for you guys so you can look at it independently.
So I do not see those links. Just to let you know.
Okay.
So of any of it, I think it might be because, and it's going to happen again, because where I had the issue with the hard drive server before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing a lot of your stuff. So because I actually moved a lot of your files over to me before, so if it was saved, it's not saved in the same folder you originally had it in. So we'll have to figure that out whenever I upgrade the hard drive again.
Okay. So, well, in the meantime, then I'll just hold on to any financial reports I can.
Yeah, just do that. Since you have it in Google, if worse comes to worse, just share us the Google link.
That's fine.
That way we can just access it that way.
Okay.
Because I want to learn a little. I know Eric wants to learn a little more how it works as well. So
yeah,
absolutely. What you see the links in the chat?
Yeah.
Actually, put it. You don't have Discord.
I'll put it in Discord. It's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Please, if you don't mind. Sorry, Darnell.
Oh no, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew what I was doing. So so I'm with the starting in January. I said I wanted to start putting money in again. And I said, it's been a while since we have, so
yep.
I just want to let you know what the new strategy is going to be. When I said, my whole goal is that I'm hoping that we can put in $200 a month between the four of us. I would like to take $50, put it into our checking account so that we can have that cash on hand.
Right.
I would like to put $50 towards our 3 stocks, JPM, YOLO, and Coin, and I'll continue looking for opportunities through that as well. And then I would like to put another 50 towards our Uniswap and BNB stock, BNB crypto, and then lastly $50 towards our liquidity mining efforts.
Okay, that's cool. So look, my question is this. So just so I make sure I understand. So the cash right now that we have in hand is the 7039, correct?
That's correct.
That's what you want to add $50 a month.
Correct.
Per month. So in other words, at the end of the year, we should technically have like $600 or something like that if we do $50 a month. Okay. Right. And then we're reinvesting on the crypto, the algo that you have there. Mm-hmm. I noticed it only has 3 cents. So are we not in? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. I said what I stated earlier was that I took the allo and I put it into liquidity mining, and I turned it into a different token.
Okay.
What I'm upset about is that the day that I did it, it's like 3 days right after Algorand increased, almost nearly doubled in value.
Yeah, I was going to say because I'm still. Yeah. Let me see where I'm at on it because I got to pull mine up.
Do you have yours in Coinbase?
Yeah, I do. That's because you're the one that suggested the Coinbase. So.
Yeah, you're earning 4% back.
Yep. And God damn, why am I logged out? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just looking at my stuff right now, real quick.
Also, as of the first, I moved our Bitcoin out of liquidity mining because it was great for generating DeFi, but it was terrible for generating Bitcoin. So I moved it back over to BlockFi, where we earn, I want to say 8% back on our Bitcoin, and we're paid out in Bitcoin directly. So
Nice.
that's really the only change that I've made since this creating this. But on that 3 cents, we're still earning 4% on Algorand. That's just the only reason I ever invested in them was that it was pretty close to a stable coin, and it was generating 4% back. So
I was going to say I'll go. I think right now I have because I can't fucking pull it up because I forgot my password. I think right now I've got like it's not much. I only invested like $2 in it to start out with, but I'm already at 23.
Mm-hmm.
So I've made quite a bit off of that one just by itself. So
absolutely.
It had one real weird jump. It was about a month ago. It like jumped up real high. I don't know why, but it did, and then it came down. But whenever I did it, I moved it over to Bitcoin. So now I had that money over to Bitcoin. So
yeah, which had a severe jump recently as well. It went from 45,000 to 60,000. So
yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't invest like I was going to begin with because they were predicting that it was going to be hitting over 200.
Yeah, they always do shit like that.
I know, and that's historically it should have, but because of COVID, I think nothing's jumping like they're.
Oh no! Everybody took a hit.
Yeah,
which means that it was right after COVID got basically worse. I mean, it was a great time for investing.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Yeah, hold on to your algo. The reason I say that is that I was reading just some financial reports on it after it jumped and then tanked, is that it's scheduled for like another jump and tank again. So
good.
Yeah. So
I just got everything's just sitting there. That's the reason I have money still in it. Is I don't have anything going. I even had got a Coinbase debit card sent to me, which now that I think about it, I don't even think I received it yet. So I need to check into that. You probably did throw it away, Katie, but it's okay. Anyways, yeah. So very good, dude. So is that all you have for us, or?
That is it. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to let you guys know what I've been doing.
Nice. So have you been working on anything yourself?
No, honestly, guys, I have mostly been doing overtime at work.
I figured.
So yeah, I mean they were offering shit tons of it. It's kind of mellowed out recently, so I should be able to have more spare time. But yeah, mostly I've just been doing ET.
So I want to get with you because I'm doing a lot more 3D printing stuff, and I want to get your knock your head a little bit on some of the 3D CAD stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm not the best at it. Like I can do some stuff, but I don't know like all the quirks of actually having it work. I'm thinking about actually buying SketchUp outright, so we have a legitimate copy. So I want to see about doing that. So maybe we can think about doing that, and we can go over some stuff in it. So
I know we discussed that. I want to say back in June about getting a legitimate version of that or the
Fusion 360.
Fusion 360, yeah.
Which excuse me, hold on a minute.
It's super pricey. Honestly, I would not suggest getting Fusion 360 unless we were.
Well, we've all only used SketchUp, and I think SketchUp does more than what we need.
It does.
I mean,
Fusion
honestly,
is more like something else if you want to do like animation or like.
Exactly. It's like using Blender to do it, and I don't want to do that. SketchUp is made for exactly what we want it for, which is mechanical drawing. So, and there's actually quite a few things I've been looking into that I'm thinking about selling as well. So, and they have to be 3D printed stuff. So I've got like a whole list of stuff. Like I might run down with all you guys about some different things we can start doing. Okay. So. Might maybe try to get us a store set up to where we can start actually putting out items and doing quantities.
Yep.
I wanted to also ask one thing. I completely forgot about it.
Yes.
January, I am going to be moving in with a friend of mine who's having some financial issues, and I don't know if I'm going to have room for the 3D printer. So
haven't you learned? about living with other people.
But the thing is, it'll give me an opportunity. It'll help a dear friend from high school
Fair
with
enough.
financial issues, but also it'll give me the ability to put away like $1,800 a month. I am all for that shit.
Right, exactly. So you're asking if somebody can hold on to the printer?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it in at his place because I looked around and he's a big tech guy himself. He loves shit like that, but he has a lot of shit in his house. So yeah,
I mean that's up to Matt and Eric. I mean, you guys know I have my own, so it's not a big deal to me. But I mean, if you guys want me to hold on to it, I'm more than happy to. Or if you guys want to take it with you and just like start using it, that's what we should be doing.
I still haven't cleared out my garage yet, so not over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just may be a necessity after everything's said and done. So I just wanted to give.
We can make room to just set it down.
Yep.
Eric, Matt.
I mean, there might be space where I'm at, but
I know it's really hard.
Don't worry about it. I'll take it, and I'll put it. If anything else, I'll put it down in the basement. We have plenty of room to just store it. So,
for me, it's not my house.
There's a lot of shit I'm gonna have to store anyway, so I was considering just putting it in my storage, but I didn't know if we were going to be using it.
Well, not just that. You have a lot of filament that you don't want to store.
Yeah.
So yes, because I'll use the filament regardless. So that's fine.
Okay.
Just I'll take it. Let me know when you want to do it. I'll pick it up and we'll figure it out.
If it comes to necessity, then I'll let you know.
So let me ask you this: you have the Octoprint set up on that, right?
Yes, I do. But the computer I was using for the Octoprint, I currently don't have up right now.
You mean computer or the Raspberry Pi?
I was using a Raspberry Pi. Then I decided I was going to just use one of my old computers.
Like laptop? I mean laptop or
like old desktop that I took out of storage when I moved into this place.
Oh, okay. So you can actually do that with a laptop. I thought Octoprint was just Raspberry Pi.
No, I was able to. Oh no, I used the Reptier server.
Oh, okay. I got you. So I got you. Okay, so I'm thinking about setting that up on mine. So if you use the Reptier server, you said?
Yeah, that's actually what I showed you guys last time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have maybe you can do a quick rundown, or do you have anything some documentation on it?
I do. I'll go have to get it for you. It's been a minute since I've used it.
Okay, because I've got some extra laptops here. If I don't need a Raspberry Pi, I've got actually a laptop that I just refurbished that I could do that with. What are you using for the camera?
1 second. Let me show you. Actually, I'm using that light right now.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it the same camera from Dish?
No, it was not the same camera for Dish, but you can pretty much use any camera.
So you're just using a web camera?
Yeah,
literally. No shit. Well, if you guys have any extra ones, I could use that. So I don't have any extras.
Did you notice like Leon's camera quality got better for no reason?
Yeah, it's weird.
Holy shit! What?
All right, I'm gonna stop presenting.
And now it's bad again.
No. Where did I go? Now I'm curious because yes, it does look better than what it was.
Yeah.
That is weird. Interesting. Okay, whatever.
Eric looked at the camera and I thought I was trying to peer into my soul for a second.
Stupid. Okay, so we got that. Eric and Matt, you guys got anything?
I did have the one idea. I already went ahead and discussed it with you a little bit, Leon.
Yeah.
So I've been having problems with my washer and dryer in the back, even after going ahead and getting a brand new set. We have really quiet washer and dryers where they would go ahead and let you know when they were done, but because it's all the way in the back hallway, maybe you would hear it, maybe you wouldn't. And then if you didn't hear it, it was like, oh yeah, I was running laundry, wasn't I? And then you go back there and sure as shit, it's like 2 hours has already passed and you had no idea whether it was done or not. And the worst part was my old ones were energy efficient, meaning there'd be times where I'd have to go ahead and run it multiple times to go ahead and get it done right. That's another reason I went ahead and replaced them with the new ones that we have now. which has led to another problem, which is the overflowing to the basement. But the point is that I wanted to have something where it would kind of notify me. Like, I wanted to have it set up to where I had like a motion sensor or something that would listen for the specific tones or something, or even just interface directly with the washer and dryer and just send me a notification on my phone like, hey, it's done. You know, just something simple. Go either through IFTTT or, you know, something. And I thought, well, because I was talking with Leon, and it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this already exists. I'm pretty sure there's already interfaces like this. What have you?
Well, they have it's Samsung, LG.
I know for a fact that LG has one. I have one for my.
They do. So they have that because they've been working with smart equipment for a very long time. But what you're wanting to do is to do a cheaper. Well, a retro upgrade is what you're wanting to do, which I think there's a place for that.
There's that, but also what I was talking with Leon about was, okay, so yeah, you got your point right here, which is this is my idea, and I want to get to here. But that requires me learning a bunch of different stuff, getting a bunch of tools and equipment that I don't currently have, just so that I can start a project in general. The idea is basically to, you know, have a lot of these little projects where it's like, okay, I'm sure this already exists, but let's go ahead and see what's involved in making it. Let's go ahead and put it together. Not just, oh, does this exist? It does? Okay, cool, let me buy that. But like, okay, I know this can be made, so how do we make it? Let's sit down, let's figure it out. And then that way, that's another way of kind of, you know, learning the process. Not just the project process and how it works, but also, well, this is the type of code that you would need. These are the places you can go to get it. This is how you would build it from scratch if you really needed to. And that way I'm not just going from point A to point B, but I'm learning all of this different stuff. That way each and every one of these points are not only something that I can add, like, oh, hey, I've learned how to do this, but also, hey, you know what? These different things have led to these different ideas. Let's go ahead and mark those down for next time. So that's another thing that I'm going to be starting soon is, okay, so what exactly am I going to need in order to build something like that? What are different methods that would be handy for that? What are good leak sensors that would be usable for this kind of a scenario? Especially because we're having a derooting problem because the water drains down because we got like a well pump and we don't actually use the city sewers. So it goes through a cistern. Well, that's great. There's a tree on top, like almost right on top of it, so we're pretty sure the roots are growing in, which is causing water to back up and flow over. So we're having to go ahead and go through that entire process. So it's basically a case of, okay, well, let's try to go ahead and modernize this as much as possible so that I can understand, okay, this could cause water, you know, a water overflow issue. Is there a way that I can monitor that? Is there a way I can get a heads up on that before I even go to, you know, just start anything in the washer? That way it's like, okay, hey, by the way, it's been a while since you've done this. Maybe you need an update on that, and just have it all sent to my smartphone on a regular basis. That's my idea.
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm going to call it.
Oh, that's good. It sounds very original.
No.
I think so as well. And just like I was telling him, I think that the big thing about this is that he's talking, yes, there is current equipment already out there to do that. But the person that has a washer that's 15 years old or 20 years old or 30 years old doesn't have a way to do this. So say I have my father-in-law who has one leg and is 75 years old and is not able to tell if his laundry goes off. He has to strap his leg on, go downstairs and do this. So yep. To eliminate that issue, let's have it integrate to, say, Alexa, laundry is done. And do that. I think that's a hell of an idea.
No, that is. And actually, I was thinking about that as Eric was talking. I'm like, okay, so basically something like a universal remote for televisions that we can attach to just about any washer dryer.
Exactly. And you know how to do that?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, how do you do that?
Yeah. Exactly. It's the Raspberry Pi compute module.
Okay,
It
I
can
know.
do
I can understand how
everything.
to send like a signal and what kind of sensors that we might need, so you can tell, hey,
So
my laundry actually done.
just like I was telling Eric, it's not you don't won't even really need to have sensors. So depending on what you're doing. So one thing you could get you could get like a mercury reed switch, or just a vibration sensor, which you can get those from the like small kits that we get from Amazon. Um, so whenever the washer or dryer stops shaking, because it's going to have vibration to it, once it stops, and if it has no vibration for 30 seconds, it sends that text. For the sound for the end of the cycle, same thing. It would be vibration, but you can also integrate into the plugs on the back of the board. So all you have to do is know where the voltages are coming for the signal, because your motherboards in both the washer and dryer already have those signals going to the thing. That's the reason you have the siren that goes off, or it knows to hit the cycle or
Okay.
whatever.
So will we
So
be marketing this to people who are willing to crack open their washer dryer, or will we be marketing to people saying, hey, we'll come over and crack them open? Or if we're just going to do a vibrational sensor, then that's something that we could sell to people directly and just show them how to attach it directly to their washer dryer.
So you wouldn't be able to. This would have to be something that would need to be installed.
Well, that's why I was thinking I would rather have something where it's like it's a hands-off method. You don't need to attach it. It's just maybe it's something like, hey, what does the end of my cycle sound like? Well, let's go ahead and have this here, and it listens, and it's like, oh, this is exactly what it sounds like. As far as like, are there tones? Does it make a specific noise? Something
But
like,
you
oh,
can't.
yeah,
The problem is that you'd literally have to filter out all the what if noises.
I know, but
So
I'm saying, like, if there was that's why I'm saying this is something where I want to make it as hands off as possible. That way you can market
Sure.
it to anybody. Like you can market it to somebody who's really young, not tech savvy, really old, not tech savvy, super tech savvy. Just something where it's like, hey, I need help with this.
but the
And
thing is,
Well,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Darnell.
No problem. Let's start with a simpler idea for now. So, like a simpler idea would be like something that Leon said, a sensor that detects vibration.
okay,
Right.
Let's say we magnetically attach to any sort of washer dryer. And
Right.
let's say that once vibration has stopped after, let's say, 5 minutes, it sends a notification to like a cell phone or a server or what have you.
Yeah.
And that could actually work for any washer or dryer.
yeah,
So you could do that, and you could do that with a Node MCU. With the Wi-Fi module on it. So if we're only using one sensor to trip the reed switch, then we could do that. And yes, doing the magnetic stick would work. But the problem is you still need to have a power source, which you would have a power source because you're right by the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I was going to suggest is that either something with a power cable or something that's just battery powered.
Well, the
Because
problem
it's
is
not
we already know the issue with the door sensors. Battery power would not be the best.
Well, okay. So, and that's if the door sensor was being, okay.
Yeah.
we'd still have to crack the deep sleep that we still need to crack.
Exactly, which is the issue. So, but that wouldn't be
This is a little different.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
let's say you only turn it on when you're about to do the laundry, and then you turn it off when the laundry's done.
Yep.
you're still going to run into that thing of it being not hands-on.
What do you mean?
If you're doing this should be something that should be a install and forget device.
Really? Why? To be honest with you, that just sounds like the more complicated idea. I mean,
No.
simplicity,
I don't think it is, because for one thing, if you have a washer and dryer, you're going to have 110, 120 out there anyways. You're already going to have a place to plug in an adapter. Or
It
yes,
depends on the setup.
Yes, you have a cord that is going to 120. Period. Always.
But that doesn't
So all you
necessarily
have to
mean
do-
you have any extra outlets or anything.
Yes,
there.
you don't have to have extra outlets. You could have an adapter that goes into the outlet, or if you want to be real nice and swift about it, you could have a clamp that goes onto the power cord and just clamp the cord into it, and it siphons the power out of the cord.
well, again, it's just that I think, no, Leon, and what I love about you is that you have great ideas, and you help to improve on other people's ideas. However, I think you make things way too complicated. And then when things are more complicated, they are more expensive.
So stop for a second. No, it's not expensive. You know why it's not expensive?
Why?
Think about it this way: you have a fridge, right?
Well, actually, before we go into that, Matt's had his finger up for like a minute now. So
Oh, okay. Sorry, dude.
No, you're good. So I've thought of several different ways to improve the idea right off the bat.
Okay.
One thing, you could just have your Alexa next to your washer and say, Alexa, text me when at this time. You could literally just make that an Alexa app or add-in thing.
You are causing my Alexa to go off.
You could, but hypothetically, like most people are like me, where they have their utilities like stored away in a room where they don't hear it. It's either in a basement or way in the back of the house or whatever.
You tell Alexa to message you. Like basically, you go, Alexa, send me a text in 50 minutes.
I mean, honestly, with that kind of thing, you could just set a alarm on your phone or your watch.
I can set an alarm on my computer. Yeah,
people don't want to click buttons though; they just want to say it.
I know, but I could do the same thing with Cortana or any one of a number of things on my computer too.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like that's one of the breakdowns. The next thing is, aren't there sensors that can read whenever something hits 0? So you just make a device that would go off and send you a text whenever your dryer hits the 0 for the timer.
That was essentially what I was talking about. You can actually go into the board, bring it up to where it doesn't read voltage on it anymore, and there you go. It's done.
Well, how about we have one version that requires installation and a more simplistic version that requires a push of a button? I mean, considering that you're about to do your laundry anyway, you have to turn knobs and turn shit on.
Right.
Well, you can also buy something that you could hook up, like for older washers that have the dial. You know how the dial eventually stops?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Same thing as his vibration sensor, but you just hook it up to the dial. Mm-hmm. The dial stops, you get your text, the end.
Honestly, I like the magnetic idea because if it's something that literally I could slap on the side of the machine.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it stops, then it has like a countdown. Okay, we're counting down for 5 minutes, and then it just hasn't detected anything for 5 minutes. Okay, send it off. That might work out pretty well. It's just I am trying to think as far as okay, but would that need to be plugged in? Could that be battery operated? How would that work?
You could. So if you went with Darnell's idea of just doing like an on and off, like every time you do a washer or you do a dryer, you actually turn the device on. You could do a lithium-ion battery, and it would have a max cycle life of about, I think with the door sensors, we lasted about 8 hours. So if you have this in, and then you integrate a USB charging board, like what we have for my, I made us get for the GPS sensor.
Okay.
Remember, so we already have this in stock. So we could technically make this thing work, and then every time you're done with it, you put it on the charging dock that's above the washer or dryer.
Yeah.
So, actually, even I think a better idea, instead of making this for your washer, we literally just make this a push button that has a timer set to it that sends you a text, and then you'd
have to be able to set that timer every time.
Yeah,
correct. But you can all do it through an app. That way, it becomes its own device, so you can name it for anything in your house.
Yeah. But at that point, you're basically making an app that's an egg timer. It would still work.
You're making a virtual egg timer that's just a button that you go smack.
I know.
Well, here's the thing though, is like even when you're doing that, say we're doing like Mike or Eric wants to put fabric softener in it.
The minute you
he's watching for the timers, right?
Okay. So you make it so it can do multiple?
I mean, you'd have to. If you're wanting to cycle things out, if that was the whole point of doing it through the board, in my opinion, that would be the better thing because you could use the actual integrated board already there. There's no coding for that. But all you're doing is just picking up for signals.
But older boards don't even know when you're supposed to do that anyways.
Yes, they do. All boards do. They all have basic logic gates. That's all boards, even from back in the day. The older ones, which aren't even around anymore, those ones were on a basically a like you're saying, an egg timer. That's the reason those work. That's the reason that whenever they say your timer's out of your oven or out of your washer, that's the reason it wouldn't work. That spring on the inside literally stopped, but it always sends out a switch signal that's either open or closed. So all you're doing is listening or looking for a closed circuit or an open circuit. That's it.
Well, I'm just thinking on the average, people just your call ends in 10 minutes.
Yeah, which is right. I mean, that's good.
I've seen that.
I'm just trying to think of simpler devices. Simpler devices for simpler people, because that's what they're going to want.
Exactly.
I still think I like
complicated and having have someone come into their home.
So just like we had with the rape whistle, we have different levels.
I really don't want to call that rape whistle.
I know.
We all know what we're talking about. So like essentially that's that. Like if you just want something super easy, let's do Matt's idea. If you want something a little more less difficult, like maybe mid-grade, let's do Eric's. And then we have the tech version that comes in and actually integrates with any system. We have my idea. So you have 3 levels that you can sell to people.
Well, the worst part is when you buy this and then your washer dies in 3 days.
But it would be with my version and all of ours, it's retrograde fitted. So it can fit to any system.
Correct. It's just when you have it installed, it's like shit. I gotta have a guy come back out.
Maybe not. So, like, that's the whole point. We want to make sure we're going off of ports that are already there. Most of the newer washers, like, because I'm talking from experience here, guys. Washers and dryers, they have boards that you can actually connect to. So all you have to do is know what you're connecting to in the back. And almost all the boards out there are set up the same way. They have a universal standard, so repairmen can fix them the same way. So, I mean, I've got schematics on washers and dryers out the asshole. So, I'm telling you, I know how these things work. That would be a way to do it for the advanced user, I guess, if you want to put like levels of it. And it would integrate with any system.
So the reason I still like the vibration idea the best so far is because of what I was also discussing as far as, remember, and I know this is just, I need to go ahead and get the breaker updated, like you were saying, but with the new dryer, it's pulling more electricity than the old one was.
Right.
So there are times, maybe like 1 out of every 10 runs, it flips the breaker.
Yep.
So it would be really handy to know, hey, the dryer stopped. Well, that's weird. I didn't expect it to stop for another 30 minutes. Let's go check it out. Okay, this is what happened. That way, if there was a failure, you would get a heads up on that too, because it wouldn't know that it failed. It would just know it stopped.
Right.
Yeah, and I have one of those eco-friendly dryers, or whatever the hell you want to call them, where basically it has a kind of like a weight and moisture sensor, and it knows when the clothes are actually dry. Even if I put it on for if I put a timer on for 30 minutes, it still stops it once it believes that the clothes are already dry.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice that I'm not waiting around for this dryer to stop, and it already stopped.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm actually going to jump off here. My dinner's done.
All right. That's good.
All right, but was there anything anybody else wanted to bring up?
I just need to go ahead and start getting supplies and stuff ready to go, just to get ready, just so I can get started. That's it.
Eric, real kudos on that idea. And Matt, were you about to say something?
No.
Okay, look like you were about to
No, I'm just like sitting here, and you're like, before you could even finish your sentence, Eric's like, yeah.
No, I thought you were, but no, I'm glad Eric says it. Actually, Eric, I really love that idea. That was a great idea.
I do too. I think it's an excellent idea. And look, we spent the last half an hour of our meeting literally talking about this. So I think there's a hell of a lot of potential to it. It's just a matter we need to sit down and figure out something to go with it. I'm going to start looking, because I have enough stuff here where I might be able to create your vibration one. So if I can start figuring out how to do this, we'll do it. Maybe we can have a prototype here in the next week or two.
That'd be awesome.
Sounds
so, and you'll be our test subject.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, maybe this is what we should start doing. Why don't you, at least for the most part, why don't you start thinking of like drawing up the concept of what you're wanting it to look at? Okay. So and the thing is I've got the 3D printer. It's right now up and going, so I can actually whatever you want your box to look like, I can even make it look like that. So let's figure it out.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So just fuck that motherfucker.
God damn, dude.
Buddy, we were just saying really nice things about you while you weren't here.
No, it's cool. I clicked the wrong fucking button again.
Oh my god.
So
I'm trying to clear
I
out my desktop, and I keep clicking.
I think we're going. Let's run with Eric's idea.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's figure out. Somebody needs to start looking at like the cost analysis for it too.
Yeah, I know that would be me. But what I need to know, I need a kind of an basically, and I was about to say that there too. I need a kind of a rough idea of the equipment that we're going to be using, so I can do some price comparison, and then I can budget for it. So just let me know.
Yeah, and then Matt, what are you gonna do with it?
Do with what?
Oh Lord, I mean,
really?
great.
Still no answer. Okay, all right. So,
and
fair
on
enough.
that note, I'm out.
All right.
Good talking to you guys. See you soon.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
I'll see you guys later.
All right.